I guess like the first real stream of the year. Everybody's back. Last week was a weird week, and here we are. We're here starting the new week and the new year the proper way. Anybody that's joining us, welcome. Just have some coffee and see what happens with the day. Market opens in about 4 minutes. Just take it easy. I mean, we can do a quick analysis of what's going on in the market. I mean, pretty much since open yesterday, we basically have been bought up all the way until now. Only now are we retesting this level here that was established a while back. I mean, if we jump to a higher time frame, let's go to 30-minute, we can see what this probably coincides with, but maybe not. Maybe we go a little higher. We go to the 4-hour. Yeah, the 4-hour, you can see that where that level is coincides with this top over here, this previous all-time high. So that said, it's an area that we'll want to watch, just because, you know, price could find its strength here and just bounce, which is already doing. Like, this could be just a double bottom, all right, before it decides to move higher. Not really too sure yet. You know, we'll see what the day gives us. But, you know, last night the move was pretty clear. I did some charting last night to see what I could find, and this breakout trade right here was the trade. If you had taken it, you know, you could have got in at this breakout here. Simple trade, right? Breakout, and your stop down here at this low, you know, 20 points risk. And, you know, obviously you would want to get out to at least 1-to-1, but you could have done, you know, 2-to-1 up here, got out of one of your runners, or one, and just left a runner, and, you know, maybe caught this whole move. But, you know, hindsight's 20/20. I would have rather been asleep. But that's definitely a trade you could have just gone to sleep on. Let's see what's going on though. Right, getting closer, about 2 minutes to opening bell. Market tried to move lower. We have all of this up here. Looking at my other chart on the Qs, we're probably going to open above the 20-day moving average, which is going to be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, first few minutes of the of open are going to be a little choppy, just because anytime we're near moving average, it's a huge resistance / support level. So deciding which way it's going to go is going to be pretty big. But yeah, go ahead and throw a VWAP back up here for the session. As you can see, when we sold off there, we basically sold off right down to VWAP. Great place for people to generally get in. It's the average, and we've just bought up. Like, it's been almost 100-point rip since that sell-off, which I don't really even know what that sell-off was for. I'm gonna check Financial Juice real quick. Washington Post story, maybe. Let's see, when was the sell-off? 8:15, or maybe it was the Fed news about cutting rates more cautiously. Yeah, probably that one. Trump story doesn't. Looks relatively. I mean, it's about the same time, so it's one of those two things. We have it. We're open. Pretty indecisive so far. I'll go ahead and transition to the regular trading hours because I feel like that gives me a better sense with VWAP. Right, you can see that there's this nice big gap from the previous session, and that'll be an interesting place to trade, I think, if we get down there. But I mean, pretty strong buying, so I don't know. Bear with me here. I'm just cleaning up my chart. Couldn't really see the buy and sell portion of it. There we go, nice and clean. So we have overhead resistance, and we're just in the middle of this range. Yeah, not too much right now. It's a big gap. We're over the 20-day moving average on the Qs. Let me check out the S&Ps. Yeah, S&Ps are right on top of their 20-day moving average, attempting to break away from it. Generally bullish day. We're up, let's see. We're up over 1% on the Qs and almost 1% on the S&P. Basically, just sit on your hands right now. Let's see what the day is going to give us, because what else is there to do whenever price is just moving? Unless you're a crazy person and you just want to shoot your shot, see what happens. Go ahead and start trying to figure out the algos here. Just in this buying channel right now since open. opening's always the hardest, I think, just because you kind of want to do something, but there's nothing to do quite yet. I mean, I don't know. There's probably strategies out there that have to do with the open, but I don't use those strategies. I mean, I think I attempted to when I first started learning how to trade, and more than anything, it just got me into trouble, right? I think I lost more often than I didn't. So generally, I like to just relax, see what happens, see what the day will give us. I mean, this is like the first real trading day of the year. So yeah, I mean, it's got a whole year ahead of us, 2025. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. I'd like to see a decent pullback. I mean, there's a little. Clean that up. I'm gonna clean that up in the extended hours because it's kind of annoying me. But yeah, so I mean, we could treat this gap as like a impulsive move, and if we drew our fib, we're meeting resistance right here. We have the 20-day moving average on the triple Qs somewhere in this vicinity, right? If I'm looking at that and I'm looking at where the 20-day moving average is, it's going to be somewhere down here ish, right? In between the 23 and the 38 fib. At minimum, I would want to see that retested. I want to see this level retested down here at 669. And preferably, I would want to see it get as low as 643, 650 before looking at getting in long, right? Just because price comes down here does not mean that it's bearish price action. I think it would be healthy to have a decent pullback before going long, right? At least that's my opinion on this so far. Zucchini, there is news. Let me double check that. I wasn't aware. I only looked earlier at the what caused the sell-off around 8:15. Yep, no, 8:45, 5 minutes. We had the S&P financial PMI, or the S&P services PMI final. And then at 9 we have factory orders, durable goods. Yep. Those will probably be pretty decent market movers, and maybe they aren't, but generally you also don't want to trade that. So we'll see what happens. You're coming up on that basically 8:15 level. Don't really know what's going to happen there, but coming up on it. Looks like we're rejecting off of it. We'll see. Hopefully everybody out there is warm and having nice coffee, maybe had a good breakfast. But yeah, it's just chill time while we wait on the news. There we are. We're testing that level. See if we reject off of it. Yeah, then we're pulling back. I mean, currently the odds are that we just move up past it, unless, the news really shakes price down a little bit. But even then, we could just be building some liquidity up here to eventually take that level out and move higher. But I mean, I want to look at Qs again, my 15-minute chart. Sorry, I don't have this one up for everybody to see. I'll pull it up on my Topstep screen here in a second. But, we did sell off pretty substantially in the last few, days since we made that all-time high. And after that first sell-off, we pulled back basically to the 78.6 fib of that move down. Right now, from our last leg down from that high, we are essentially at the 78.6 fib of that leg down. So we're either going to reverse and go higher, make a new all-time high again, or this is a perfect level to potentially see bears start to reassert their dominance. I mean, currently the 20-day moving average is above the 5-day moving average, so we're technically in a short-term downtrend. Price action generally moves that way, but we could see price go higher, right? We're coming up on a gap that was formed back in the 26th, right? There's a gap where we gap down after making that pivot higher to the previous 78.6. So, whatever's going to happen is going to happen here. We might just reject off of that gap, move lower, or we could fill that gap and decide to retrace that whole move. Go either way, completely honest. But here, let me pull it up on the my chart over here so you can see what I was talking about. So we move to the 15-minute. Make this a little more easy to see, right? So we'll pull this out. See, we basically, this is the high. Here we are making that low. We moved up here just below the 78.6, right? In between the 61.8 and 78.6. Now we went ahead, and if we look at the pivot lower here to this low, we're pushing right up against that. So this is the do or die zone. We have this gap here in regular hours that could be filled, and we could reverse, or we could just continue to sell off here. But we got news in about 1 minute. Let's see what happens. Again, at minimum, I want to see this level be tested before really wanting to go long. But I mean, if it's strong selling, maybe I don't actually want to go long. That's news. Not really too much out of it. Maybe there's going to be more. We'll see. Maybe something there. Maybe that was the selling algorithm showing itself. I mean, as we're moving past it. It appears like there could have been something there, but I don't know. I'm grasping at straws right now. I haven't seen any real substantial like indication of the channels that are moving the market so far. Just kind of moving up in this green channel. We tried to break out of it a little bit here right before news, and we're just moving up. The thing everybody says is good trading is like watching paint dry. It's not necessarily the most entertaining thing unless you are patient enough to have caught that really big trade and you're still in it, and then watching it happen is just amazing. Being a part of that is so fun. But yeah, right now things are pretty boring. So hopefully that changes here soon, but for now, we sit on our hands. Zucchini Spiral, you still there? You take any trades yet? We're only 18 minutes into the trading day, so there is time. There definitely is time. Yep, and price just keeps going. So, worst feeling generally in the world is seeing price move away without you. Good friend of mine likes to sing that song. There she goes again, racing through my mind or brain. I don't know actually how that song goes, but they sing it. yeah, we keep chopping around that level. It's a pretty substantial level, as hopefully you can see here, that we charted out. And I made a little short about finding levels, and that's how I found my levels. So if anybody is joining or finds this later, check out my shorts, because that's where I talked about how I find my levels and how I find them fast. So that said, that's how I find my levels, I guess. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Pretty important level, I guess. I mean, we're up almost a 1.5%. Oh, there we go. Nice little pop to the upside. Levels holding. SP500s look like they're doing okay. They're holding up pretty strong. I mean, on a macro scale, we're completing a cup right now that is basically closed at that Friday, December 27th open on the S&P 500 where we gap down. So, it's worth paying attention to. We might pull back here at some point, form some type of handle before moving higher, especially if we're going to move higher. But no guarantee we move higher. Yeah, same thing on the Qs, basically. Over here on the 27th, we gap down, and that's where we're finding this resistance ultimately. This is just this general area. I'm going to go to my 15-minute on this chart just to show you what I'm kind of looking at. See if that'll help out. Trying to visualize what I'm talking about. You see, right here, price. We're completing a cup right here, right? As you can see, let me help you visualize it a little better. There's that cup, right here, right at this level. We also can see that there was a bunch of orders here previously. If we come back and look at it, right, there's orders here that held price up, and also that price couldn't get back over supply and demand zone. So, if we pull back, you could see before going higher, we want to see it pull back, maybe something like that to this level, or if we're unfortunate enough, at least, half of today's move, or today's like regular hour move, just a little bit before pumping higher. And the target would be at least closing this gap for today or / tomorrow if you're swing trading, or over the next week. But I mean, yeah, that's about it. That's about it for what I think is going on with today. If we're lucky, we'll get some type of move like that. cursor's still on the paintbrush, which is boring. I mean, if I wanted to clear these things up a little bit, I mean, if you look at this, we're still within that algo, right? The boundary still exists, even though we traveled through this one right here. It existed here and here. Now we're, starting to move out of it, or trying to, right? So the sideways price movement is beginning to exist, but what can we gather from this? It's a nice little quick pullback. We got news in 3 minutes, so maybe that's what's causing this. But I mean, at minimum, I would short here, right? Just because there appears to be some tapering, but we could still just travel up this channel, right? You see this level's holding so strongly, still really acting as support until we break below this level here, and ultimately, down here, or maybe even close the cup at the low of day. Price action's pretty bullish. I mean, we could see it come down and tag the bottom of this. Right? Something like that. It's hard to know where this algo is. I'll just leave it here, but yeah, I mean, we could still just move higher. So, we'll see. Looks like it's really struggling at that level. It's either, right now we're struggling right on top of it. So it's either going to find support or it's going to turn resistance. If it turns resistance, I want to see this teal portion of this channel break before going long. But I mean, kind of trailing sideways here. And generally when we trail sideways, orders are pouring in here, or people are trying to get in, make bets, either to long or short side. And if I pull up the the volume profile, and I look at where the volume is on the day, you'll see it's all up here. Volume point of control is exactly on that level. So we're either going to break out right now with news, or we're going to reject and sell off. Just the trend of the day so far tells me it's most likely going to be to the north side, but we could sell off again. And if we sold off again, we would probably break this. But I'm interested to see if there's any type of actual confirmation of tapering if we push up against this channel and reject again. That'll help me get a better view on what's going on. Go ahead and we're not really moving forward. Didn't have what was needed there to go higher. I mean, I still think it's generally a little bullish. We could just move down right here, probably all the way down to here at this 776, 7075 level. before we pivot higher. Like, I would like to see a quick sell-off, freak everybody out, make people think, hey, I need to get in short. As you can see already on the Nasdaq, or on Topstep's tilt, it's 50-50 with a little bit of a lean towards short. So people are trying to get short up here. They are going to get short. They probably don't want to stay in that position too long, because the market loves to do a quick little sell and then go. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw this. Now, I don't know, I exaggerate, but at least targeting this area, right? Not much higher, but at least that area. And it's going to be fast. Usually it's fast, right? If it sells off, it's going to be a big red candle to trap a bunch of people, to run a bunch of stops, run a bunch of long stops, and then it'll turn around and go. Now, another alternative that I've seen is it just grinds up higher all day. And that is the worst day to trade, because you can't really trade it. Currently, this price action doesn't look too great for anybody, especially if you're trading options. Just trying to identify some other channels here. I mean, this might take us higher. I'll give it a stab if it does break that yellow channel. The risk to reward isn't great, right? Your reward is to the top of this blue potentially, and the risk is down to the bottom of blue. So go either way. I'll just try one micro if it breaks this, and my stop would just be like right at green break. So I'm in, and my stop's basically at the bottom of this candle, and I'm going to target the top of this blue channel. Maybe my stop's a little too tight, I don't know, but since it didn't even really break, I kind of want to get out. Oh, okay, cool. No love lost there. Didn't really even like the position. See how it just, like, if you got in right there, you would have wanted to have a small stop and a very, like, it was just too limited risk reward wise. Like, we could just dump right here. But I do think potentially this is important, this yellow channel. I'd want to see us move down, maybe break out of it, tap up against this red, and then move higher. I think that would be the play. Building a lot of volume up here. It really, if you're patient, there's going to be a good trade here soon. Like, look at all this volume right here. Like, even if we just test value area low, you know, that's a good entry, a decent entry, right? So just keep that in mind. Like, don't be trying to get in here to the long side or to the short side. Like, you'll know what is gonna, or you'll have a better or a better probability of where to get in if you wait. Like, you can take this break, right? But just know that you got to keep this relatively tight. Kind of like a wedge here. I don't really know if it's worthwhile to even try and do anything either way until we break out one way or the other or create some type of imbalance. See, we're pulling back here. If we break this teal, I expect to see a little bit of selling come in, but I'm really curious about what's going to happen right here, this area, because if we bounce here or we, you know, push up against it but can't really get any stronger selling to come through, then I would be looking to get in right here or as close to right here as possible. But I mean, maybe that's the best we get right there and it just moves higher. I don't like this though. I don't like entering anywhere in this vicinity. It's just chop right now. We're just moving sideways. Good way to piss off a bunch of people who are starting the new year, trying to get, you know, start their new year the right way, or have this pent up like frustration about the year or last year or anything like that. It's the perfect thing for the market to do, is just really get people upset, and don't let yourself become that person. Just wait, just be patient. Discipline is the biggest thing when it comes to trading. I mean, the risk reward has improved up to the top of this channel, but I didn't see a good entry, or yeah, no good entry to the long side. Like, I want to see this teal break and for yellow to hold before going long. Ooh, let me go ahead and fix that. I have some sunlight coming in pretty strong. Okay, fixed. Sorry. There we go, breaking out of that yellow channel. I mean, sometimes you just can't participate in the trade because of your own risk settings, but like, how many points would you have gotten out of this? 21 to 35, 10-point trade, not terrible, but like, if it fails to move higher, you could see a little more selling. Yep, and there it is. So don't let yourself get tricked into getting into a trade like that. But here we are pushing back. I want to see this yellow. Remember, yellow is going to be important before we actually move higher, right? Still have all the volume point of controls right up here. There's a little bit of a valley there in volume before we have this next little level. There we go. That's looking nice. Gonna push a little lower, but this is the best area to potentially get in long if you're gonna get in long. Still not quite where I want it to be, but let's see what happens. best we could have gotten. %55 on Topstep are short. It's increasing. Oof. 58%, and it's pushing higher. I might take a long if we break the top of this yellow. That was a good little fake out. But I don't know. Remember, we have an older gap from the 27th above us, so that's pretty resistant. All right, I'm in 2. I'm going to have my take profit up here and my stop just under this level. I might get stopped. That's fine. I took my chance. Again, I really don't like this now because like it looked like it was going to break out, but it didn't. So if I get stopped, that's fine. We'll see. And just like that, also on Topstep, everybody switched back to long, 62%. So we'll see what happens. Now, I generally like to protect my trade. So if we move about 10 points higher, right, I got it at 31, right here at 41, I will want to get out of one if I can, or 42, whatever my. Okay, so my trade has now been protected. I'll leave my stop here for a while. Back at green on the day. Watching price move. Targeting the top of that blue channel. If price starts reversing, I'll get out before it goes against me. Definitely want to see it hit. I would get out of break even, but I'm not going to move my stop up quite yet. And we were breaking above the previous high of day. It's pretty good. So logical place to meet some type of resistance, but I think this top of this blue channel is generally where I want to get out, or as close to it as possible, right? So I want to see a good push, and then I'll get out. There's resistance up here. %76 long. I kind of don't want to stay in this. We're struggling right here. A lot of people getting long right now, and I don't think that's a good thing for my trade. But I hope it is. Let's see this push. So this is the breakout zone. We're retesting it. This would most likely be where we're going to fail. I'm going to get out. That's unfortunate. I should have gotten out up there whenever I was saying that. But it is what it is. Too many people are getting long. You know what? I might get back in. Yeah, I'm going to get back in real quick. This doesn't come back to the top of this channel. I'll get out. Yeah, I should have held that. Because where my stop was, I liked it. I still like the top of that blue channel. There we go. Pushing back up, basically where I was. Probably get out here in a second. Just actually lock profit on the day. All right, I'm out. Made $45 across 5 accounts. So what's that? We'll pull up a calculator. Looks like calculator does not want to open on my computer, so I'll just pull it up on my phone. Yeah, I'm not good at like quick math, guys, just in case you were wondering. So 225 quick trade on 5 accounts, minimal risk to my actual account, which is what you want to be doing, right? No harm there. And yeah, we were still just struggling to move higher. Wouldn't be surprised if we still did move up to that that blue channel, right? You see right here, which could be good for another trade later today, where we, you know, if we get confirmation without seeing any real strong buying higher that this exists, I would want to see us break down here for another trade, right? But we could just move through this channel all day up slowly, right? Go boom, 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 boom. Total possibility. Seen it happen tons of times. So really just depends. But let's be patient before we try and take another trade. Look for another good pullback. That would have been the pullback to take, right? I was just looking for a little bit more, and it didn't want to give it to us. So, say lovey. Still made money on the day, which is all you can really ask for. Zucchini spirals, c'est la vie. Did you take the trade? Did you get out? How did that go for you? Or did you miss it? Which is totally fine. Sometimes you miss the trade. $15. Held it too long. Yeah, I did the same thing, pretty much. Look at that. Look at that day. Just slow price action. I mean, the VIX is probably slowly going down. Let me take a look at that. That'll give us a big clue on what's going on there. Sure enough, Qs are back under 16. We're just selling off, which means that price is gonna steadily increase. So unless there's some type of catalyst right now, it's more bullish than not. But it's gonna take time. I mean, the markets are generally bullish, what, 70% of the time type of thing. So there we go. Pushing right up against that blue channel. Would have made a little more money, but lock in profits. That's all you can do. I should have held my trade. That's fine. Coming up on an hour into the day. Not really too much going on, but yeah, no, rejecting off the top of that blue, which is nice and what we kind of wanted to see for confirmation of, you know, that channel in general. But as I said, we could just go up, down, chopping the, or moving up through this channel. So that's what I would look for next. Some type of pullback like this one. You saw this quick little pullback, but something like such where, you know, we come down and go back up. I mean, we also have this red channel here that is a little steeper of a sell area. So that could also be nice, right? Within that channel, we could get a nice pullback. Sorry, I thought I deleted that. So look for something like that, right? Down to, don't really know yet. You got to find something, some way to establish the bottom end of this red channel. But that's the upper bound at the very least. For those with a risk reward type of mentality, this would have been a pretty decent trade, right? If I had left my stop at this level when I got in, which I think I got in actually right here, and held my trade to where I was originally intending, it was almost a 3-to-1 risk reward. I obviously got out as it came back near break even because I didn't want the trade to go against me after being in profit. But yeah, come see, come saw. And just like that, I'm out of coffee. Worst. I mean, we still have volume down here. Like, that would be a great place to pull back to, where the volume point of control is. It's always decent, and I think it happens more often than not. So if we pull back to that level or this, previous breakout area, be a good place to go long. Right now, I wouldn't be looking to go long at the top of this. You could try it. You have limited risk reward. As you can see, we break out here. Your risk is potentially at least at the bottom of this channel, and your reward is the top of blue, since it's been established multiple times as a trend line that's we're rejecting off of. So, it's not a great risk reward. Better off trying to short there, actually. You feel that, Zucchini? Of course you do. Zucchini, what did you retract? Why did you retract it, my friend? Yeah, I mean, at minimum, before we get a substantial or a decent pullback to get long, we'd have to break this green. We're still in that green buying channel that we established here. Caffeine. It's okay to misspell things. Nobody's perfect, right? We're here to trade. We're not here to spell. Think about that. Spitting fire, aren't I, Zucchini? Just double check some things. Looking back at the cues, yeah, we're moving in through that gap currently from the 27th, moving up to all this pretty much liquidity, but we're starting to pull back. What does the SPY look like? Haven't really looked at that in a few minutes. SPY's also trying to move through that, but yeah, no. Here's where we would want to see a pullback. And it looks nice, right? I would want to see at least test down here at the bottom of this red, but maybe we don't get that much, right? I'm looking for an entry. Risk to reward gets better down here towards the middle of this channel. Maybe towards the point of control, but we'll see what happens. Watch it just get bought up. Story of my life. Market likes to rip. I'm not in it. Oh me, oh my. Like a little bit more of a pullback. I mean, I like this here, but you can see like as we pushed against this 3 times, it's kind of giving confirmation that this algo is still important, right? We saw it here multiple times, 3 times here. Maybe it doesn't even go that far, but like I would want that the risk to reward needs to get better. That's the biggest thing. Kind of have that, but maybe it's that actually. I think the point of control is the safe area to get in. I mean, obviously this is all just educational and I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm looking to get in there. And I'm not telling you to get in there because honestly, if you're listening to some dude tell you how to take trades on YouTube, you cannot get mad. I don't know why there are even these disclaimers. Like if you're the type of person who does that, that's completely on you. The onus is on you. Nobody else. But it's the world we live in, I guess. Man, not a great trade. I don't like it. But you can see, I mean, if you're, just joining the channel or if you're watching the stream after the fact, like this is basically how I trade. I trade using these channels that are repeating, right? You see how repetitive it is, where it moves itself higher using the same channels over and over and over again. And that's the reality of the market as I see it. Like it just moves higher using repeating algorithms, right? We like to think of this as controlled selling. And this is the buying channel. But yeah, no, I don't like the long here just because it's basically already up at the high of day. I want to see more of a pullback. I want to see a pullback to maybe this 36 level, right? It's going to be stops down here. That's a good place to get in long, I think. Generally, if I was long up here, where I'm going to put my stop? I'm going to put my stop over here at this breakout level. It's a good level to pull back to as a retest, even just mentally. Where should we test before moving higher? We want to test the breakout at the previous high of day. It just makes total sense. And I'm not going to realistically short until we break this 813, 815 level and break this blue channel. Like there's no reason to. Like we might come close or we might see a strong sell, but like what I'm looking for is moving to this point of control area. Like run the stops that are probably right here at the high of day or the previous high of day, which is what we're testing. Break down a little bit, test, and then go. But again, maybe it doesn't even go that far and I just missed this trade. Story of my life. But I want to see just like a strong sell candle to get in because we haven't seen that yet. And I think that's going to trick a lot of people. I mean, even looking at the Topstep tilt again, you can see that 55% of traders are short. Why? The trend is up. The trend is your friend. Why would you want to be short there? From an average price of 827. I mean, they're not in a good place. As volume builds here, the point of control could shift. But I think there's a good amount of time before it shifts. There would have to be a substantial volume coming in here. But yeah, maybe that candle was the one to get in on. I don't know. Just got to be patient. You can't regret not getting in on every trade. Nasdaq's going to probably end the day, or at some point today, be up 2%. I mean, we're up 1.6%. Interesting. This would be an interesting level to see us quickly sell. I don't think we're gonna be like sustained selling, but I think this is the quick sell and go right here, like what I'm looking for. I mean, simple truth of what we see right now is we're making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Something in this area would be a good higher low. As long as we don't take out 783 and this low, you know, the market shift and trend is still higher. So point of control, easy target if you're looking for a short, but I would not be shorting right now. I'm looking to get in there. I'm looking to get in that area. Right? So we know where the tail end of this red channel is right now. It's at this point of control. If this breaks, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a quick sell and go. So just be prepared. Don't get overly fixated on, you know, wanting to go short because there's whatever, right? A lot of people you see, I'm looking at the tilt right now, it's at 53. If we break this and we sell hard, you're going to see that shift really quickly. But it's interesting that we keep pushing up against that and not breaking. We're creating this volume shelf, which is most likely going to give us a quick sell, right? If we break that, we can move through this faster, right? Because it's just, there's not as much there. There's not as much to hold price up, not as many orders. Well, orders are piling in right here. People are trying to get short, people are trying to get long. Because, I mean, I can see a thesis for either way. I think, ultimately, as they say, the trend is your friend. Until the trend is broken, there is no point in trying to take counter trend trade. I'll just move higher. I take just one stab if we break out there. Because the risk reward is getting better. But again, I actually don't want to take that because I think this could break, right? Like I was just talking about, I think this could break. And I don't want to be in a long quite yet. I want to find a good entry. And it's not a terrible entry here. because the risk reward has improved. I want that quick imbalance to get in on. There we go. Well, it's also not surprising. Like, if there's no buying continuation when you break out of a channel, typically that means, hey, we still need to build some type of liquidity or grab liquidity to move us higher. So, like, sometimes you can take the counter trend. If we break out, don't break out, take a quick short. That's a strategy to take sometimes, right? So we did break out of that, but it's not going. So with that knowledge, you could take a quick stab short, which I will try and do real quick with my stop just above it, just above right here, and target right down here. Quick, easy trade. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. It doesn't. But just define your risk usually. That's all you can ask for. Just the lack of buying continuation right here really makes me want to take a short, but buying could just kick off here in a second, and I would only go short if we came back inside this yellow channel. See there, here comes some buying, pushing us higher. Pushing back to the high of day. Not bad. Not bad at all. Just a waiting game. Find the best trades. All right, well, we wait on the market to give us something to trade. I'm going to go ahead and step away for a second. So get some water, use the restroom, whatever you need to do. I'll be right back. And hopefully some of y'all are still here. and doesn't really look like much has changed. So, it's just gone for like 3 minutes. Not bad. I do think there's going to be a quick sell right here. It's just like we've pushed up against that level so many times. People are not expecting it. People are getting trapped short. Again, not financial advice, but I like this. This is cool right here for a move higher. I might take the short just because I could see it selling down to the point of control. There is this volume shelf right here. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens. Could just push higher again. I mean, totally trend is your friend type of dealio. But we'll see. Just keep knocking on that. Risk reward still looking pretty good to the long side, right? So if we come down here, do a quick sell, I might get in long. I might also take a short here. Might take both trades. Because if I'm looking for a short, it's not a high conviction short. It's a, hey, I'm going to quickly get in and out of this short. Maybe I should take the long. 60% long. This is why people are going to get in trouble. 60% long on the Qs at an average price of 41. 841. That's not bad. You guys got in probably back here. So good on y'all. Here comes that break. Let's see where it goes. Or it just taps it and it holds. But as long as we're inside this main channel, I would want to see a lot more tapering before we're actually thinking of a short. We just wait. That doesn't want to break. When that breaks, it's going to be pretty interesting. Looks like it wants to break, honestly. And okay, things are now at 50-50. So that's good for anybody who might find themselves in a tough position. But long still could have it. I mean, look, there's better risk reward in this channel. So we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna be patient. I want to see that quick imbalance sell before going higher. So this is how you know that like market makers or the market in general is really just like good at playing, 4D chess, right? It makes you see things that may not be there. I'm gonna go long here. It's gonna be pretty tight. I want to see the top of this channel. Risk reward got better, and we're breaking out right now. So Oh well. Unfortunate. Rejected that. Point of control is still below us on the day. I mean, now I'm starting to think if we're gonna get, I don't know. I can't take a short. I can't take a long. Just kind of sit on my hands. I tried my long here. It got stopped out. I do think if we break here, there's going to be a quick short. But how quick is it going to be is the question. Like, look at this sideways. I'm going to take it, I think. If we break teal, I will take a short. I'll get out of one quickly, and I'll try and hold a runner. But let's see what happens. All right, I'm in. I fill down to here. Stop obviously somewhere up here. I'll get out before it gets there if it really starts to go that way. But I think this is decent. Let's see a quick sell. I'll get out of one around here. We could just push up really quickly. trend is your friend. So like if you're taking a trade like this, you do not want to be in it for very long. Especially when it's struggling like this. How much struggle is happening right there. We could just rip. Be very careful and mindful of this area right here. If we break red, we could go higher, and I don't want to be a part of that. At least on the position this way. Yep. I'm out. Just gotta be patient. We might get that sell that I was looking for, but I still think it's a long, and that's why I got out. It wants this. I don't know what it wants to do. Right here is a very, very tricky place to be. I mean, you see people piling in short. Maybe they'll make some money, but you want to be very, very careful right here, especially when it's fighting that hard. You can see price struggling at a specific level. It's not a good place to generally. I mean, it might be a good place to get in. I don't like it because like it could go either way right now. I think the bottom of the channel is good. Bottom of this yellow channel, bottom of this blue channel. It's a good long entry. We're building volume here. I wouldn't be surprised if the volume point of control starts to shift soon. But there's that volume shelf right here that I talked about before. The volume shelf right here, if we catch it, will give us that quick sell down, and then maybe we'll leg up. But we'll see. Might just like slowly get into a position here, one at a time. I mean, if we break out here, I might take the long as well, just because we came down and found some type of Risk reward is a lot better here. Right, you see we got all this up here to the north side. Yikes. Pushing up against this from the bottom. It's like having trouble. It's either going to go or it's not, because of that. It's not bad. Let's see us take out the high. If we can't do that, I need to get out of this. But the risk reward is much better here. To visualize it, right? It's basically just this against this. Now we just wait. I'll probably get out of my first contract up here. Yeah, I'll go ahead and get that set up. Just looking for a quick sweep up here, just above the high. That's where I'll get out of that first contract. And then I'll leave my runner. And if we reach that target, that basically makes this trade a break-even trade if it completely reverses down to my my stop. Pretty close to where it was. Hopefully we take it out. It's going to suck if it comes and reverses entirely. But let's just hold. Looking at the SP 500, not liking this too much anymore. I'm out. Maybe it goes, but that we just couldn't get over that. That's really what got me. Made $3. Bummer. And also we started breaking this channel. So, you know, if you're in a long, you want to be in while you're in this channel, right? As soon as it starts to break, you probably want to get out just because that's the safer place to be in this trade, especially if it's like coming down to your entry. I should have protected at a better position, but it is what it is. But yeah, there hasn't been any like really good or strong buying here, and it's just kind of depressing and difficult to trade today. It's not like the worst day to trade, to be completely honest. It's pretty good, but it's also like not ideal. I want to see a strong pullback before going long. Simply put. Might take it again if it breaks here. It's a little handle. Looking for the high of day. I'm out of one. Move my stop down to here. An exhausting day for you, Zucchini? Is it the market or something else, or because the market is pretty just like bleh. But generally that will give us a good move. Like it's been one good trade so far, and that was this pullback right here. Now the market will give us at least one more good trade. I think it's just a matter of when. Yep. Patience is a virtue, they say. I think. Is patience a virtue? Let me check. Can never really know for sure, because I just say shit sometimes. Yep. So patience is a virtue. The phrase originates from the idea that being patient reflects a person's moral excellence and self-control. It suggests the ability to wait calmly, endure challenges, and persist without frustration. And it's a valuable and admirable quality. So if you're patient, you have moral excellence. And let's be honest, that's something we all need a little more of, right? something else here that I didn't notice before. This could be important. If we break this, yeah, I might take a stab there if we break that. Does look like there's more tapering occurring up at this area. Also coming up on an important level on the SPY 600 level, not far away. It's an easy target, so keep that in mind as we're trading. The SP 500 wants to move higher, and it probably will move higher. But maybe it needs a little more oomph to get us up there, right? All right, I've been short there. Let's hope this doesn't just absolutely wreck me. But you know what? That's okay too, right? No risk, no reward. We're going back inside that. I don't like it when we're inside that. So we'll give it a second. But if it comes and the next candle closes inside this white channel, I want to get out. I got 15 seconds left on this candle, so we shall see. Remember the volume shelf, that's important. There we go, a little push. And ultimately, I think looking for a long will be good as well with this area. Pull back for a long, but I want to see this break a little bit more, you know? This is what I wanted to see so far. Well, can't tell you for sure. Let's go. Gotta be patient right here. This is a do or die zone. Just want to see one quick push. I'll get out of one contract and I'll leave my runner. Move my stop to break even. But I want to see us test the bottom of teal. Testing the bottom of teal is going to be very important. Or we reverse here. So one way or the other, we'll get an idea. We're back in that. I'm out. Yeah, I should have gotten in long. I'm long. That might have been a bad idea. we go. Out of one. No. Should have got in down here. That was the entry I wanted, and I didn't take it. Now I'm sad. Oh well. Just wait. Break of teal could be a nice nice trade, especially since we didn't have the power to go higher. So I might take a short at the break of teal, I think. Because, as I said, and I keep saying, there's that volume shelf down to the point of control, and I think that would be a decent trade. All good, Zucchini. All good. But again, break of teal might just give us a nice little, because look at all this liquidity right here. Boom, boom, way back up. So be mindful if you do take a short, not to stay in it too long, but it could be good. Almost 2 hours into the day, and we're a little negative on the day. It's fine. Nothing we can't recover from. You know, keep your risks small, keep things manageable, and you will live to see the promised land. It's an interesting level. Okay, on that volume shelf right here, we're going to easily move through that if we can break this level. Break out a teal. Might take a stab. All right, I'm in short. I want to see us come down to here. There we go. That's nice. Out of one. I'll hold my runner. Hopefully it doesn't, blast against me. It's totally possible. But we're coming back into value. We're breaking teal. I want to see us stay outside of teal. If we go back into teal really quickly, it's all going to depend on the next candle, right? And this candle, I guess. We got about 10 seconds left on this candle. It's not looking great for the candle, so keep that in mind and probably get out here in just a second. We'll see if it tries it again. It could just go higher. Just want to give it a sec. Don't want to prematurely get out. It's a hard one to hold on to. It's not that hard. I'm only down $10, but my thesis is starting to break up, and that's why I don't want to stay in this. Because the teal channel is holding, and that makes there's huge risk reward to the top side. Yeah, I might get out here in just a second. Yeah, point of control shifted to right there, and I'm out. And we broke that. Should be thinking about going long. All right, I'm gonna try long. And we have all the way to the top of this channel as a potential area of. If we can just break out of the top here, we'd be good, but I want to be very careful holding this trade much longer. I'm already down about 50 bucks on the day. It's not a lot, but I didn't get the best entry on this one because I was looking for the short before. I want to see us break that high of day. If we can break that high of day, things will be good. Right, we have this buying channel right here. As long as we stay inside of it, we should be good. And we're still inside of the teal buying channel as well. So, really depends. There's a big volume shelf here now. It's going to be important later, I think. I do think we take out high of day at the very least. SP500 probably is going to take out that 600 level on the SPY. We'll see. If we break out of this channel, I'll have to get out. Yeah, I'll have to get out. That's the first day back. Makes sense that's a little screwy. First, like, real day back. And I'm out. Down 100 on the day. Yep, SP500 is about to take out that 500 level. We'll probably take out the 900 level here on the Qs. And I'll regret getting out of my trades. They're just too choppy. It's annoying. Maybe I should think this through a little bit better. Just been like no real buying continuation. We could break out right here, which wouldn't be surprising to the top side. But like, I have no desire to be going long up here. I still think, I don't know. I might take another stab short at the break of teal if we come down to it again, because it's right there with the point of control. There's volume shelved out to the downside. I think that's probably the play. Little cup, microstructure up, cup, I don't know, handle. I'm going to try it. I could be wrong, but I'm going to try it. Just rips back to the north side and gets me. This is brutal. This price action is the worst, but I think that's why we're gonna sell here. It's this volume shelf. I keep bringing up the volume shelf, but I don't really, anything could happen. But I think the volume shelf is gonna be important. I think this is the trade. Okay, it's looking nice. We're coming up on the shelf. If we slide off the shelf, we could see maybe 830. That would be nice. But then again, we could just buy up. We've seen it happen multiple times. Just dropping in a range basically from 860 up to 893. We'll see what happens. We're outside of teal now. Pretty substantially outside of teal. So whatever's going to happen is going to happen soon. It's looking better for me. I mean, we could sell at least a VWAP. That would be nice. We could rip here too. There we go. It's nice. Just want to see us take out this area right here, and I want to see us slide off this shelf. If we can do that, then things might play out a lot better for us. We also have this tapering channel here that if we broke, we could keep going. It's right before VWAP, but I don't want to get out of this trade too early. I like it. We could just get that sustained, just the market shift, right? Market structure shift where we've tapped so many times trying to break out at the higher end. If we're gonna break out of this area, we need to retrace more of the move. Just be patient. The trade fails, but right now it's working and it's what you were looking for. Sometimes you got to talk yourself up. See, there's that shelf right here. We're coming right up to it. If we break it, we're gonna see a quick sell, and that's what I want to hold on for. That's where I'll start getting out of this, you know. Chat, no, you should not KMS. Just wait. Just be patient. Remember, moral superiority is the patients have it. Or people with patience are morally superior. So just wait, look at this go. Okay, here we go. We're about to break through that shelf. Look at that. Oh, if we can just break that, that'll be so nice. There we go. Come on, give us that quick push. That's exactly what I was looking for. Just needs to hold this and not turn around. So there's a market structure shift starting to happen. We put in a lower low. Now, if we just push higher, then well, that sucks. But we could just start moving lower. out of one. Out of my second. Now I just have my runner. I think I will get out soon. Especially if we just continue to hold this level and we don't go any further, right? But we're at this area where the shelf is, and so we'll see. SPYs are coming back to important level, coming back at 599 even, so it could bounce here at the support level on the SPY. And of course, this is the 850 level on the NQ. So whatever will happen is going to happen here, and it's going to happen fast. We're either going to reverse or we're going to sell. And the continued selling is nice. I like it. I like it a lot. So, I mean, it all comes down to patience, guys. If you were patiently waiting for this trade, it was in front of you, right? We're about to sweep this all the way through, maybe to value area low, and that'll be nice. Look at that. Look at that beautiful, beautiful movement. I think VWAP should be the general target. I'll go ahead and move my stop up to VWAP, or my take profit. I could bounce here. Just keep that in mind. I mean, we did take out this and this low, so now we're making a newer low. Market structure could be shifting. Just be patient. It's a good trade. I've been in it for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Feels like forever when you're in a trade like this. I think I got in back here at this break, so it's been, you know, how many candles? $15 minutes. It's not a terrible 15-minute trade. Still in it. Still in it. Might get out soon though. I'm out. Yeah, I'm up $5 on the day. Nice turnaround. I think when we break white, I'll go ahead and take a short again. Actually, I want to see us retest that volume point control. I don't think we did enough repair here. So let's see us fail breaking out, breaking up. Move forward, going short again. I like that. That's a good rejection right there. Yeah, most of it was digging out of a hole. Now I'm putting myself back in one. That's the worst. I do want to go short again, but that might just be stupid. Oh, really? How much of a hole were you in? Oof. And now you're where? Oh, up 60. Look at you. Look at you. Green day. Green day. Good going. Don't know. Don't know what to do here. Coming up on 11 o'clock. Choppy price action. Not the best. SP 500 looks like it wants to break out. And the Qs are a little weaker. I think there's a clue here. Sub white right here to contend with. It's not the perfect level to go short. You still want to be looking for longs technically. It's hard. It's hard. Hmm. Two minutes at the top of the hour. We'll go ahead and get long. Might be a bad idea, but I think at least to the point of control right here would be good. Damn it. Just missed my fill. Down to VWAP we go. There we go. Oh, cool. I'm up $17 on the day. I think this is going to be a long area. I'm going to start adding in if we go back inside this purple channel. I'm going to add one right there. Right at VWAP. This is the pullback, the sharp sell that I've been wanting this whole time. So if it keeps selling, I'll obviously get out, but I think ultimately long, this is the sell I wanted to see, and it's coming right up to here. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I think there's this little selling channel or this bear flag or bull flag that would be nice to have, add into. See, look how we're quickly buying up. It's a quick trade. But I don't want to be in it too long. Might add one. I might just hold this one trade. Oh, $800 hole. Now you're up 300. What a day. You should probably call it a day. I'm probably going to call it a day here in a second as well. Because it's just taking its time. Yeah, I'm out. I'm up $50 on the day. I'm going to go ahead and just I'm not going to call it a day quite yet. I'm going to pause the stream, or not pause the stream, but I'm going to go ahead and step away. Quick, get some water, reset. I'll be right back. So see you in a few. Hey, Zucchini. Yeah, patience is key. We both could have done a lot better if we had been more patient. I think what the market is really good at doing more than anything is telling us, like, hey, it's just going to keep going. You shouldn't be patient. You need to get in right now before you miss it all. And biggest takeaway, just wait. I mean, we sold exactly down to VWAP. We fell off this volume shelf right down to the bottom of right down to the next area of, the next, what would we call this, a hill, right? And then there's this valley. So we sold off right down to it, and then we got bought right back up. So like that was clearly the play I had been talking about all morning. If I just waited or held my last trade that I got in up here, I never would have, been to break even or had any problems. But it is what it is. Up $50 on the day across 5 accounts. It's about $250. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. It's a good day, to be completely honest. I'd like to make more, but we'll see what the market gives us. Right? The market giveth, and the market taketh. The market taketh away, and I'd prefer it didn't take away more of what I made. But I think at this point, long up here, or a short at another break of blue, right? We just keep making lower lows. I mean, technically we're still in an uptrend, right? So, but let's be patient. I mean, if we just looked at the day, which is what I'm going to do right now. Just draw a quick fib on the daily, or on this day. See how much we've retraced. We only retrace like to 38.2. We could go more, but in the 50s right at that level, it'd be nice. But it's 11 o'clock. It's definitely a time when the market likes to chop, but we could just push higher, See what happens. I might take another trade. Friday? There was a pretty good sell-off, or maybe it was buy up. Maybe it was Thursday. One of those days where I'd stepped away because I didn't think there was going to be anything. And, it's better to just wait it out, see what happens. Kind of want to go short right here. I'm going to make it quick. All right, we're up $75. It's pretty good. I feel like there could be more. I think if we break blue, I'll take another stab. No, we got VWAP in the way kind of too. Went right to the volume point of control, or we established a new volume point of control. Do I have developing point of control on here? There we go. I'm short 2. Let's see this come back to here. Don't want to risk too much on this trade either if it doesn't go. Want to protect it relatively quickly as well. Holding up. Might get out here in a second. Not liking this price. It's not moving. Yeah. One more push lower and I'm out. Come on. There's one. Small little $3 trade. But here we go. That's what I was looking for. $90 now. We're back at VWAP. We might make a new low here. Pretty decent, but this is a good bounce area. I mean, across 5 accounts so far, we're up about $450. It's good. Like, you don't really need more than that. Once, you know, these are all XFAs, $450 a day. It's amazing, right? Obviously, there are certain days you're going to have to hit more than $200, but I mean, those days will also be stack up enough for you to get your payouts. So a little here, a little there. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and probably stop the stream here, and I might come back for Power Hour. Don't know if I'm going to, but if anything looks interesting, I'll probably come back. But yeah, until then, we will see you later.